Okay, thank you everyone for joining our today's session at the International B2B Software Days 2025. My name is Sebastian Gruber and I'm today's moderator of the session Digitalization in Agriculture. Shortly the agenda for today's session. At first, we will hear a keynote by Martin Hirt, who is employed at the Chamber of Agriculture, and he will talk about the opportunities and challenges of digitalization in the agricultural sector. Afterwards, Marie Wenzlaff will present the AgriFoodTech project, which is about empowering robust AI and robotic solutions for the agri-food sector through real-world testing and validation. Later on, Gerhard Zimmermann, co-founder and CTO of the company Farming, will talk about shaping the world sustainably with smart agricultural technology. Then Reinhard Streimel-Weger will explain us EDIH Innovate and talk about introducing innovation in a traditional sector. Lastly, Andreas Tauberg will present us his projects Terrazzo and TerraTrack, which are smart applications for precision farming. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat, and also feel free to contact the speakers or share your contact details in the chat such that we can schedule a follow-up meeting. Then I would say we will start with our first session, which is the keynote by Martin Hirt.
Oh, thank you very much, Sebastian. Good morning or hello, everybody who is already here in our Zoom room. My name is Martin Hirt, introduced by Sebastian, and I will give a very short introduction today at these International B2B Software Days about agriculture in Austria, but especially about smart farming in Austria, the current state, and challenges about digital farming. A very brief intro into the agricultural structure in Austria. As you can see here, we speak about 100,000 agricultural farms. Besides that, there are about 50,000 forestry holdings. Number is, as everywhere else in Europe, decreasing over the past decades. We speak about 2.5 million hectares utilized agricultural area, and about an average farm size, which is about 23, 24 hectares per farm. This is still in the back midfield, I would say, across EU countries, but yeah, nevertheless, it has increased about a quarter over the past 20 years, and which is quite interesting and also relevant, I guess, for the technology scene. We speak about a quarter of the farms and also of the average farms of the farm size and the utilized agricultural area, which is managed organic, which is the highest share in the Western world, you could say. When we speak about digital farming and digital agriculture, we see here the most comprehensive and also representative survey which has been done in Austria about the usage and the intended usage about smart farming. And in the public debate, we often speak about precision farming and big machinery and yeah, the application which are provided by very big companies. But in fact, we should differ between very easy and low tech and mid tech solutions in farm management, for example, software tools, free software tools, marketing methods when we talk about social media, and the production side on the other hand. And we will not go into every technology now in detail, but what is interesting here across these technologies, we see the green banner, which is the actual usage and the intended usage over the next 3 or 5 years, which is in orange. And when we look to the precision farming technologies, we see that the orange banner, so the intended usage, the planned usage, is nearly everywhere at least as high as the actual usage. So there is a large interest and a very positive attitude among new technologies and the actual usage of the new technologies in Austrian agriculture. When we ask farmers, what do you expect from new technologies? What do you expect from digitization? Why are you interested in digitization? We have to be very clear that, at least in Austria, small farms, family farms, they don't say, because I save 3% of fuels or 4% of plant protection. Yes, they do, some do, but in most cases, they expect everything that has to do with quality, increased quality of living and working on a farm. So easier documentation, time flexibility, reducing of physical labor, time savings, reduced workload. These are the top answers when we ask farmers about what is the motivation for you to deal with additional technology, with new technologies. For example, higher quality of products is quite in the back of the answers. And which is, I think, the good news for you as entrepreneurs, as technology developers maybe, there is among all farmers quite positively pragmatic connotation and attitude among digital technologies. This is a contrast, I would say, to other innovation topics we face currently, like new genetic engineering or new methods in plant protection, where there is a quite heavy debate about that, also among farmers. But when we ask about smart farming, precision farming, only about 10% are skeptical or rather skeptical. Half of them say neutral, and about 40% say they're positive or rather positive. So we summarize that there is a quite pragmatic, positively approach, and farmers say, I will also conclude that later, if there is a benefit for me, and if the usage, or if the benefits are higher than the costs, why not? Just two examples about very widespread smart farming technologies in Austria. On the one side, RTK-led steering systems, on the other hand, automatic milking systems. Since 2021, the RDK data, the public RDK data is provided for free for all farmers, so they can use it for their automatic steering systems, for their machinery, for their tractors, to have a very, very exact driving on their fields. Today, nearly 6,000 farms with close to 8,000 machines use these public provided RTK data, this open data service. Besides that, we don't know it exactly, but we guess about 5,000 more use commercial services regarding RTK. So this is quite, I would say, usual technology on farms, especially in arable regions, in Eastern Austrian regions. And we have a quite high share and a quite big increase over the last 4 years in automatic milking systems. You see here the graphs. more than 2,000 in the end of 2024, and a very, very big increase since 2019, 2020, 2021. In Upper Austria, which is the Austrian federal region with the most intense livestock production, today more than a quarter of the milk which is delivered to dairy is milked by automatic milking systems, by milking robots. And it's an ongoing trend. Just in the last year, 2024, it was an increase of more than 11%. So I have 5 minutes. I think I'm over time already, so I will summarize. There is a high awareness. The usage, of course, differs between various types of farms, but also various types of technologies. The motivation factors are everything that has to do with reduced work, more flexibility, helping the farm, helping supporting the farm family in their daily work. The biggest barrier are investive costs and running costs. And yeah, for you startup businesses, entrepreneurs, I would suggest that you not only focus on quite big machinery, on always the high-tech application, but also in the low and mid-tech sector, where a simple solution for farm management, for example, and modular, like retrofit systems can help and support the farm maybe more and maybe faster than some high investment machinery. And among all, I think it's a quite good base. Farmers say, I already mentioned it, if the technology works and the expected benefits are higher than costs, why not? So thank you again for having me, and I will give back now to Sebastian.
Thank you, Martin, for your interesting talk. Then I will want to introduce Marie Wenzlaff. She will be talking about the AgriFoodTech project, which is about empowering robust AI and robotic solutions for the agri-food sector through real-world testing and validation.
Thank you, Sebastian, and a warm welcome from my side as well. My name is Marie Wenzlaff. I'm a researcher and project manager at Josephine Research, and I have the pleasure to present to you in the next couple of minutes who we are, what we do, and how we support the digitalization of the agri-tech sector. I'm going to start with a short deep dive into the topic. Why is it worth taking a closer look at the agriculture and food production sector? Well, firstly, the agriculture sector, as you already have seen in the keynote, is crucial for Austria, both on a domestic level as well as on the global stage. Secondly, the sector is facing a number of challenges and must make every effort to adapt. It is clear that climate change and the increase in weather extremes, resource scarcity, soil and environmental problems, labor shortage, sustainability requirements, and of course, market volatility are all major issues. Digitalization, AI, and robotics are powerful tools for increasing the efficiency of agriculture production. They have the potential to relieve the burden on the environment and increase the resilience of farms. They can enable successful adaptation to changing conditions. So there is huge potential here to develop robust solutions and further refine these technologies to align with end users' needs. And this is precisely where we are active. Josephine Research is a non-university research institute. We specialize in digitalization and agriculture, particularly in agriculture technology. We work closely with businesses such as technology developers on research and innovation projects. We also act as a link between companies, end users, such as farmers, and society in general. And here you can see our site in Wieselburg in Lower Austria. In particular, we have valuable physical infrastructure such as machine test benches, test fields, like you see in the background. and quite new drone airfield for automated flying. We also offer digital resources and infrastructure for carrying out remote testing of algorithms. For example, we have already built up an extensive pool of data sets for this purpose. Other infrastructure components include our test equipment for field trials, which enable us to test the precision and performance of new technologies on the field under real-world conditions. And we also have access to a network of test farms and can therefore establish a direct link to the farmer. Our work focuses on supporting companies in the development of new technologies. Together with our partners, we identify the most favorable funding option for the joint project. And today, I especially want to highlight the AgriFood TEF project. This project gives us the financial means to collaborate with companies from all over Europe on the development of AI and robotic solutions. And in addition, we can also access funding from other sources, of course, such as the European Digital Innovation Hub programs and trainings that will be presented later on from a colleague of mine. For advanced solutions and products, we also can support market entry in Austria through a use case and targeted marketing and dissemination activities under the umbrella of the Innovation Farm project. And last but not least, of course, we are always interested to set up or join new research or business consortia in order to apply for special funding, depending on the scope of the project. And now I'd like to share some more insights into this AgriFood TEF project that I already mentioned, because it's a special opportunity for businesses interested in the sector. Under the roof of the Digital Europe program, the Commission has launched so-called TEFs, testing and experimentation facilities. We are very pleased to be part of the TEF that is targeting the agriculture and food production sector, the AgriFood TEF. Basically, the AgriFood TEF is a large-scale European project and network of numerous partners with expertise in testing and developing applications in the field of AI and robotics in the agriculture and food production sector. With this project, we can engage easily with businesses from all across Europe to support them with customized product development and real-world testing of their innovative solutions. Our mission within the project is to provide customized services to help businesses to test and validate their own AI robotic solutions and prototypes under real-world conditions. The support for businesses is our top priority in this project. Our services are designed in such a way that they can be tailored to the individual customer's needs. You might have to think of it more like a small project, a use case, except that you don't need to apply for separate funding or write a separate project application in order to receive the funding, because we already have done this. We are using AgriFood TEF funding to collaborate with companies. For example, we have brought one that will be presented after my part is done. And well, these companies have their own product idea, but are in need of specific infrastructure or resources to conduct the required tests and validations. And also with this project, we can satisfy the need for objective product validation under real-world conditions, and with this enabling a speedy transition to the market for new products. The only basic criteria to be considered for these funding opportunities are that it must be a registered European company. The product should work with elements of AI and robotics, of course, and somewhat have a connection to the agri-food sector or will be adapted for it. And finally, in some more detail, some of our ideas how we can use or how we have been using this funding in collaboration with European companies already. What we can offer at our facilities here in Austria is, for example, the testing of robotic solutions on a test field, or robots for livestock farming tested in the stables by our partner institute. Also, what we can do is virtual, completely remote testing of AI algorithms, or provide structured data sets for training these algorithms, just to name a few examples of our recent use cases. As already mentioned, a very important element is that we organize our set of services in close cooperation with our customers and are constantly seeking to revise them and expanding them. And you can also find our entire range of services and those of all of our partners on our homepage, agrifooddev.eu, under Catalog of Services. And you may have a look at it to get some inspiration on what is possible. And now I'd like to sum up. The very main message I'd like you to take away from my presentation would be that we at Josephine Research, we know the agri-tech sector very well, the Austrian stakeholder ecosystem, as well as the relevant stakeholders on EU level, thanks to our network. Please get in touch if you're interested in exploring business opportunities connected to this sector. And with this, I give the floor to Gerald from Farming, an Austrian SME that we have been working with for multiple projects now. Please, Gerald, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for the introduction. Thanks for the invitation to this series. Yeah, my name is Gerhard Zimmermann. I'm from the company Farming, and I want to show you what we are doing to shape the world in the agricultural sector a little bit more sustainable in the future. So our company was founded 4 years ago from Gregor Witzmann, the guy in the middle. We are currently around 30 employees. We are located near Horn in Lower Austria. And we focus on automation on the field to reduce field work and also to get more precise targeting and so on. What is the challenge in agricultural industry on the field? So we have an increasing demand on more organic or sustainable produced food. We have, of course, a labor shortage in the agricultural industry, so we do not get the field workers for the hard manual work. And overall, a health topic is, of course, the reduction of pesticide. And we see that therefore automation is necessary to target these challenges. Overall, we focus mainly on weed control because it's hard work in the organic sector. And why you do weed control is probably clear for all of you. So you have you increase the yield and so on. And now to change this, we see that there is AI necessary. So we use vision-based AI systems to distinguish between the plants and the weeds. As you can see in the picture here, these are the plants, these are sugar beets, and these all around are weeds. With classic systems, this is not possible. So here AI jumps in, and the possibilities that are now possible increased huge in the last few years. So what we do is to detect different crops, detect also the weeds, and depending on the solution we handle with the machines we build around the vision-based AI systems, we eliminate the weeds. And with this, we secure the success-critical process in the field, vegetable production, for example, because if you do not reduce the weeds, you will not get that yield you expect. What is a little bit special about our company is that we not only focus, for example, on the AI and automation part, and not only focus on mechanical engineering and mechanical product development, we combine these two worlds together in one product and also form the possibilities to integrate these products in future into robotics to have a fully autonomous process in the field. But as you can imagine, therefore, there are huge efforts necessary to integrate this in the robotics and also the surveillance this whole unit. So our products are currently the in-row weeder, which is a mechanical weeder that weeds in the rows. Short video here, you can imagine how long this would take with manual workers to go through the field and to remove the weeds. And the second product we currently build is a high precision spot sprayer where we only target with a 60 times 60 millimeters roughly. In future it will be more precise too, only the weeds or the plants, so you can reduce the pesticide in a huge manner. Yeah, and then Marie already mentioned it. Thanks. We have on the spot spray also a cooperation project with the AgriFoodTEF. Here you have the article. You can read about this on the AgriFoodTEF homepage too. It is a help for companies like us to have such a program and to have expertise around us, which we can ask for some special questions. So that's it. Thanks for the time. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me afterwards.
Okay, thank you, Gerhard, for your nice introduction of farming. And thank you, Marie, for the presentation of the AgriFoodTEF project. Then I would like to hand over to Reinhard Stremmelweger.
So, good morning, everyone, from my side. I'm excited to welcome you to this brief introduction to our European Digital Innovation Hub project Innovate, where we as Josephine Research drive digital innovation into the agricultural sector through hands-on programs and expert support. Our strength lies in combining deep sector knowledge and with digital expertise. The project is co-financed by the European Commission and the Austrian Federal Ministry of Economy, with national funding administered by the FFG, Austrian Research Promotion Agency. What is an EDIH? EDIHs are a one-stop shop for SMEs and a support facility that empowers companies to become more competitive by supporting the digital transformation, by assess SMEs' digital maturity level, offer technical advice, provide financial advice and networking opportunities, or help SMEs to gain essential skills for digital transformation. As part of the Digital Europe program, a Europe-wide network of numerous EDIHs are being established. 4 of these EDIHs are located in Austria, with Innovate being the largest EDIH in Austria. All EDIs in Europe help small and medium-sized companies and mid-caps, companies up to 2,999 employees, and public sector organizations respond to digital challenges. All our services in the EDIHs are free of charge for our target group. Yeah, the Austrian EDIH operates both at regional level and in European network with over 200 other EDIHs. For more details, the European Commission offers a searchable EDIH catalog where you can explore hubs by country, technology, or domain. On this slide, you can see our 4 EDIHs in Austria: Applied CPS, Crowd in Motion, EDIH Innovate, and AI5 Production. The thematic focus of the EDIs in Austria includes the agricultural and food industry up to production, energy, mobility, tourism, and the sports sector. The current EDIH Innovate project will conclude this year, and a new EDIH 2.0 initiative is set up to follow, focusing on AI, cybersecurity, AI Act, and funding programs. And for this purpose, the 2 EDIs Innovate and AI5 Production will be merged into a single joint initiative. This is highlighted here in yellow. Here you can see the consortium in the current EDIH, and our next EDIH 2.0 project, may call AI5 Innovate, will expand its reach to up 18 partners across Austria, reflecting a strong national collaboration. And if approved, the Vienna University of Technology will take here the lead of the project. Our approach has several pillars to discover in digital consultation hours the needs of the target group, the SMEs, to learn in workshop or to prototype or to test before invest, to set up new business concepts. Our formats in the current EDIH are listed here. In the EDIH 2.0, our focus is on the programs that are outlined in red here. The digital skills and training programs include up to 2 up to 3 day workshops on a specific topic. But especially the test before invest programs will have a major focus in the EDIH 2.0 project. Here we can offer for one company or more the opportunity to look at digital solutions before investing or to take an idea further in the direction of a prototype. So Here some examples in the current EDH, where we have taken study visits to SMEs or trainings on the topics of isobus. Or my last two slides are about prototype bootcamps. Here you can see the autonomous robot Dionysos, which moves in the intervine area of vines, where he is mowing the grass area. And in the program, we optimize the track guidance in the vineyard with a company, or also on the subject of semi-automation of existing solutions. And my last example, we organized a bootcamp in the form of a hackathon, where 4 teams worked on 2 challenges from 2 companies and presented their results at our networking event, Panorama 2024. And yes, thank you. That's all from my side. Thank you for your attention. And I will now hand over to my colleague Andreas, who will give you a more detailed insight into the outcome of an EDH program. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you, Reinhard, for the introduction. So following to the EDIH, I would like to present you the TerraTrack prototype bootcamp that we were able to realize within the EDIH Innovate project. So what is it about in this project? We are trying to plan tracks for guidance systems in order to avoid soil erosion. What are we actually talking about? When we talk about erosion, it's the reduction of soil power coming from continuous extensive working and tillage. And here we can see the soil erosion in Austria on this map. So one could think that soil erosion is a problem in Austria because of the Alps, but here we can see that it's actually the arable areas in lower and upper Austria where soil erosion is a major problem. Additionally, there are legal aspects with soil erosion because with GLÖTZ 5, which is a EU guideline following from GAEC 5, where fields bigger than 5 hectares and having a higher slope than 10% are actually mandatory to be seeded with across the slope. And another factor is tractor guiding systems are very popular already. Martin Hirt pointed out that 6,000 farmers are using guiding systems with RTK already. And that's why there have been 3 farmers, project partners that were approaching us, that were interested in a precision farming track planning system, which fulfills the following goals. It should be possible to select a field, and in collaboration with elevation data, it should be possible to plan track guides that are avoiding erosion as much as possible. And it should be possible to export these tracks, of course, and the access should be open. That's when we came up with a solution that takes elevation data into account. We are gathering from APIs. These elevation data is the model for our maps, and we are also calculating then the ideal A/B track for the field, which can be seen in the lower right corner and is colored red. The calculation is rather complex. What we're basically doing is we are calculating the average slope and driving direction for every direction in the field. And as a result, we get the ideal track the uniquenesses of our algorithms are that the weight of certain part fields in our field can be weighted more or less. And therefore, I would like to give you a small impression of how we're doing this. So basically, we have a field here. We can select the fields that I had in my slides as well. And then we can see the contour lines, which are derived from the elevation model. We can also look at the slope map. You can see here the slope of the certain part fields. And with this data, we can make track lines, for example, with 6 meters. We get the ideal driving directions right away. And additionally, the tracks here are colored and indicate the driving slope in the certain direction. We can also configure headlands and consequently download the shapefile as a product for the guidance system. So that's it about the TerraTrack platform. I would be happy to answer some questions in the following question and answer session from Sebastian Gruber. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Andreas, also for the nice demo you showed us. Are there some questions from the audience? You can use the Q&A button on the bottom of the screen, I guess. Just type in your questions and we will try to answer them. Maybe a first question from me to Martin Hirt. Where do you see startup business models for Austrian agriculture?
Yeah. If I would know exactly, I would do it by myself maybe, but maybe I can share 2 experiences which we have faced during the past years. So there are 2 fields where startups have reached a quite large market share during the last, I would say, 5 years. The one is recording software, farm management systems, recording of work time, but also input applications, recording of my land management, but also economic aspects of my farm management, where I would say 2 out of 4 providers active in Austria are startups. And we as Chambers of Agriculture, for example, try to support farmers in using these tools, this kind of software, also by providing advisory and consulting, because it's also from our point of view, but also from the political point of view, very, very important that farmers have a very quite good overview about what is happening on the farms in form of data and information. The second point is, and I mentioned it during my presentation, is something like a modular expansion of existing tractors or machinery on farm, where, for example, when we talk about guiding systems, steering systems, where we see that one reason of the quite large increase during the past years or the past decade is that there are some small service providers and startups that provide a more cost-effective and smart offering of a modular steering system, some DIY solutions even, where farmers can now spend 4,000 euros, which was done by big companies 10 years ago for 25,000 euros. So modular expansions and low-tech, mid-tech software solutions.
Thank you very much for giving us some insights. Maybe a next question to Marie and the AgriFood TEF project. Maybe you can, I think you already mentioned it in the presentation, but could you give us some insights again if there is a lot of administrative effort for the companies who want to be part of the project, and if one participant is interested, what are the next steps and how could we proceed now?
Sure. So on the first part of your questions, coming back to the administrative efforts, as I already tried to highlight in my presentation, is the very specific aspect of this project is that it's designed to help European companies in the development of their technologies. And we are try to keep the administrative burden as low as possible. The project is already organized, the consortium is already set up, and basically for the company, it's just the step to get in touch with the project partner and to define the specific scope of the individual use case. Which leads me to the second part of your question. If we get an interested customer, or how we used to structure the process is that we first try to figure out as much in detail as possible what are the customers' needs, in which stage of development is the solution, and how can we help, or what is planned to what should be the outcome after the use case. And according to this, we set up the work plan, we design the offer, and then it's basically just getting started.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for answering my question. Then maybe another question for Andreas. You showed us a demo of the TerraTrack project, and I think it was a map from Austria. Does it also work outside of Austria, and what are the next steps for the future?
Yes, our app works basically globally, or to be more precise, everywhere where Google elevation data is provided. That's our second provider, our fallback provider, kind of. However, the data from Google elevation is a little bit more coarse, so one should be careful when planning fields outside of Austria. In Austria, it works very accurate, though. What are the next steps? So basically, we saw that we can, to this point, we can only plan straights, which means A-B points, which are not always the perfect option and practical use. So the next steps are planning curves as well, which are the ideal ones, taking the elevation maps of the field into account, which reduce the erosion best on the field. Other ideas are as well that we consider waterways. So basically the ways where the water goes once it starts raining heavily, to take these part fields into account better. And also considering the soil types, as there can be different types on the field. Yeah, that's the most the best ideas we will face in the near future.
Okay, thank you. Then maybe one last short question to Reinhard. What are the target groups of the EDIH Innovate, and what are the key focus areas of the programs in EDIH 2.0?
Yes, the target groups of the EDIHs are small and medium enterprises, and especially also the possibility for mid-caps. As mentioned, mid-caps are companies up to 2,999 employees, but also the public sector organizations, or when the program is set up and we have the minimum requirements of the participants fulfilled, so also other participants from the general public which are interested in the program can participate also and benefit from the support in the topic of digital transformation. And the other point are the key focus areas of the next DDH 2.0 project. And the three main themes are here the AI Act, the Test Before Invest programs, support to find investment, and especially the focus on AI topics to help companies to adopt and integrate AI technologies to optimize processes and drive innovation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Then I want to conclude our session by thanking all our speakers again for presenting their projects and giving us some insights in their current work. And if you have any questions left, do not hesitate to reach out. We are pleased to answer all your questions. So thank you again and have a nice day.